On June 8th, a bug fix released fixing a stamina fruit glitch which a lot of players got while encountering the temple goddess. When you received the stamina fruit, the game would freeze and there was no way out. No more. The bug is fixed and the cutscene can play out without it freezing your game, meaning I finally found the motivation to complete the temple. As far as possible in the 0.4 version anyway. So let's see how I completed the majority of offerings while I also talk a bit of Coral Island news, because some exciting updates are coming our way. First things first, I'm thrilled that the developers have decided to roll back the slower processing times. During version 0.2 and 3, producing an item on a machine was heavily debuffed. It took a whole day to finish a mayonnaise, for instance, and it felt hardly worth it for the little price gain you got from it. Well, I'm happy to report that it now takes a day for 3 mayonnaise to finish instead of 1. Since you can put in 3 items to produce at a time, it feels logical that the turnaround is relatively quickly. Otherwise, you should just be able to put 1 product in a machine like with Stardew. I really liked this feature in the very first version we played. Was gutted to see it slashed, and I'm very happy to see it return once more. Now, let's move on to some cooking ingredients. You can actually craft all the recipes needed for the temple, though some ingredients are less obvious than others. If you haven't played in a while, know that the mill now fully functions. You can put in rice for rice flour, sugar canes for sugar, and sea salt for gourmet salt. Less obvious, but also needed for a recipe, is getting syrup. No, you don't get it from tapping trees, you get it from putting a sugar cane into a cheese press? Yeah, no, this is legit. You put some sugar canes in a cheese press and syrup will roll out of it. Also, don't forget that the oil press will help you make oil. The most cost efficient is saving canola you can pluck and spring around the island and make that into oil. Cost efficiency is only nice for when you're cooking, but you can also make some big bucks by putting a truffle into the oil press. You'll need a brown truffle and a white truffle oil for the temple offering, so don't forget to save your lowest quality ones for those. Your best quality truffles, you save those for the oil press, because an osmium white truffle oil sells for 4K. Damn! Okay, onto the catching altar. I've been neglecting this altar so far, and it's time to fill it up. To do this, I basically need to cross-reference the entire Coral Island wiki with maps, what time the bugs and fish spawn, what season, what weather. It's a lot. So imagine my absolute excitement the moment I read the next major update will include a sturdy computer, where you can not only shop online, but upgrade the computer to have databases of all the critters on the island. Basically, we're getting our own built-in Wikipedia in the game, and it's honestly a bit embarrassing how excited I got when reading this, but it's such a nice quality of life update. I think the layout is lovely and very intuitive. It gives you all the info you need and you no longer need to search the entire wiki like a crazy person to figure out where and when a bug spawns. Another exciting update is that the developers are going to bundle several updates together. I mentioned in my last Coral Island video how I've gotten a bit tired of microdosing on the game, and I was not the only one. So it's fantastic that the developers have heard this feedback and adjusted the roadmap. Now we only get one more update before the 1.0 version launches. It's quite a juicy one, so feel free to pause the video and read the roadmap. I also left a link to the dev update where you can read in more detail what the update in August has to hold. Okay, back to gameplay. It's almost the end of summer and there's the beach cleanup. Not everything is functioning just yet, but you do get to see some new outfits and dear lord. What rating does this game have again? Oh, showcasing this on YouTube is playing with fire. Do the developers want to demonetize creators? Says the person who can't even monetize their videos yet. After a new, very gender look, it's fall and the toughest challenge of this video lies before me. Get an apple. Now, you might be thinking, Sam, what the fuck are you talking about? An apple? What's so difficult about that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Apple trees are not yet available in this version of the game, meaning the only way I can receive an apple is by gaining a minimum of 2 hearts with Randy in the hopes he randomly sends me an apple via mail. I need an apple as an ingredient for the apple pie in this offering. So, while I test out my RNG luck by checking my mailbox every day, let me show you how to cook the other recipes in the rare cooking offering. Let's start with the summer dish, a vegan taco. You'll need a tortilla, which you can make from any flour, any vegetable, and sriracha sauce. Sriracha sauce you can get by putting your hot peppers into the mason jar. Put it all in a skillet and you got your dish. The rest of the dishes have fall products in them. Essendol uses rice flour, syrup, and any coconut, and you put them in the ceramic bowl. Pad Thai uses the fall fruit blend lemon. The other ingredients are easy to gather with wheat flour, shrimp, and any vegetable. Put it in a frying pan and you're good to go. And last one for now, you'll need gourmet salt, sugar, rice flour, and any coconut. Put it all in a skillet for a sriracha. Or you can be lazy and get it at the fish and chips. But where's the fun in that? There are also some rare artisan products you'll need to produce. Since it's not made very clear in the game, a kimchi you can make by first putting a bamboo shoot in the mason jar. Once they're pickled, you put them in the aging barrel and you got your kimchi. The fermented goat cheese you can get by putting a large goat milk into the cheese press and put that into the aging barrel. And that should get you sorted out for the rare artisan offering. Alright, that's cooking for now. No apples yet in my mailbox? Okay, let's move on to the mines. Since ropes are only 1000 gold, I just buy a ton and quickly reach the bottom of the fire mine. With that done, I can start try filling up the precious gem offering. My game strategy? Bombs. Don't mind me, just passing through. Now, these dynamite sticks are dirt cheap. And not just because I'm a millionaire. If you haven't already, check out that video, it has a shock song and everything. Alright, so I'll just grab a couple of those. Alright, thank you. Anyway, what's a good spot to stash 999 explosives? That's right, in my pockets. I think I'm a responsible person enough to carry heavy explosions on my person. What could possibly go wrong? So I start bombing inside the mines and start building up a nice stash of geodes. Also, if you don't have enough hardwood, check out if the dig site is already unlocked. While I can no longer use this cheesy exploit I used a couple of months ago, I did unlock the dig site at some point. I'm not sure how many offerings I had completed to unlock it, but at least for right now you don't seem to need to complete a second altar, because that's currently impossible in the game. Okay, back to the geodes. I go to the blacksmith and... well, it's kind of easy with over 60 geodes, isn't it? With my newly obtained Slime of Replication, I can replicate objects. I use it on an artifact that's worth 100 enchanting points, so I can upgrade my tools to max. Now all I need to do is get some fish and bugs and a goddamn apple for my apple pie. I also can get the apple pie itself by having 2 or more hearts with Luke, so I befriend him for optimal odds. Did I mention both the apple and apple pie can only be mailed during fall? Did I also mention that it's not determined by the start of the day whether you get a mail or not, and if you do, who it's from or what the item is? Basically, it's a massive random number generator, and all I can do is brute force my way through this. But since I cannot fully complete all altars yet, I am determined to bake myself that apple pie. I place the bed close to the door, pop on a 50-minute podcast and start refreshing the game. The mistake I made with this file? I have too many goddamn friends. I am too popular. all of them have a chance of popping up, and each of them can give me several items. So even if I get Luke or Randy to give me something, that doesn't guarantee they'll give me the apple or pie. It took me 45 minutes of restarting this bloody day before I finally got an apple from Randy. So, how do you bake an apple pie? Use your preciously sourced apple, put it together with wheat flour, butter and any honey and put it in the oven. That's another offering complete. Now that's done, I can completely focus on catching bugs and fish. And while I don't need every fish and bug for the temple offerings, I do want to try and complete the collection in this file. I won't show it all, but here's a montage with an annoying song. By spring, I only need to catch a gator gar and a tiger beetle to complete the temple offerings. And by complete, I do mean completed as far as possible. In this version, the sexy shrimp and sunflower sea star are unobtainable, as are the cactus, who is being reworked at the moment, the large llama wool, the large fenner, and the large geisha coffee bean. Okay, the large geisha coffee bean can technically be bought when your town is rank A, but then I have to grind all kinds of fossils and artifacts to get there. I'd much rather complete that collection when the game gets out of early access. Anyway, the Gate of Gare appears during daytime when it rains, which it does on day 3. I catch 2, one for the temple offering and one for the museum. Now all I need is the tiger beetle. And it's embarrassing to say this, but I could not catch any of them on my own. I tried for several days and failed every single time. So I decided to use the traps, which have helped me out before, and wait until I catch one. That happens on day 6, meaning I have filled the temple as much as currently possible. I nearly caught all fish and insects. I caught all ocean crawlers currently available in the game. I finished 20 out of 24 offerings, gained over 4 million goals in 2 years, and my town ranking is a solid B, with 58 out of 100 points for the next rank. That's all for today. You might see me for the August Combined Mermaid and Fall update, but until then I have another fun Stardew Valley challenge in development I hope to finish before that time. But for now, have a wonderful rest of your day, and goodbye. I mentioned in my last Core Island video. What's so difficult about that? Anyway, the Gate of Gare. I have no idea what I'm saying anymore. Put it all in a skillet for Sarabi. No, that is not right. I fucked it up again. Sarabi. I feel like if I say it like that, it's wrong. If you haven't already, check out that video. It has a shark song. Somehow that sounded even more racist than when I tried to say Sarabi.